Mitch, Honeychurch and Josh Dunkley celebrate a goal on Saturday. The Western Bulldogs have won successive games for the first time since round 20 last year, pipping a gallant Gold Coast by 9 points in a wind-affected nail-biter at Ballarat's Mars Stadium. In front of a vocal crowd of 6,833, the Bulldogs, who have now joined the Suns at 3-4, overcame a sluggish start and trailed at every change before outlasting the visitors, winning 11.15, 81, to 10.12, 72. The Suns led 17 minutes into the last quarter, and were within a straight kick in time on, but the weight of Bulldog possession in the final term, when they amassed a club record 24 inside 50s, ensured the home side remained inside of the top 8. Dogs lev it late, full match coverage and stats. Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge was both proud and relieved. The boys persisted and some of the younger guys were able to pick themselves up and hang in there, Beveridge said post-match. It was great to see the last quarter, where some of our inside mids, the next tier of influential players like Toby McLean, Jack McRae and Caleb Daniel, and Luke Dahlhaus and Awali Mitch Wallace, really had an effect on the game, so I'm really happy with today. We'll get a lot out of today. Gold Coast's pressure was really good and we missed too many tackles in the first quarter. We had more intent after that, which is a bit of a disappointment, because we should have started the game that way. Watch Crossley's big bump on McLean. Gold Coast counterpart Stewart, who lamented missed opportunities early in the last quarter, fade out. We came in at halftime and could have been more in front. We should have, Dew said. Our method and effort for 3 quarters, we were really proud of. Then we let ourselves down in the last quarter. Credit to the Bulldogs, when the game was on the line, they cranked it up, both contested and uncontested. Up until then, we thought we'd matched their uncontested game, which we had focused on early, but we couldn't go with them in the end. The breezy conditions aside, it was always going to be a challenging outing for both clubs given their considerable loss of leadership. Gold Coast co-captains Tom Lynch and Stephen May and Bulldogs counterpart Easton Wood were all been ruled out early in the week, and the leadership curse continued when Dogs vice-captain Marcus Bontempelli was a late withdrawal with hip soreness. Stand-in skippers David Swallow and Litchi Hunter led teams that took a considerable time to adjust to a strong, tricky wind with more than the usual quota of kicks sailing out of bounds on the full, missing targets or being smothered. It was the Suns who acclimatized first, building a 3-goal lead early in the second term. Talking points: there's life on Mars for a dog in space. To the frustration of Dogs fans, early in the second term, the Suns led the free kick count 14-1, but that was as much about the visitors' intent and proactiveness. The Bulldogs didn't help their cause either by trailing in the tackles 22-9 by the first change. Watch Dunkley gets the Dogs started. The Suns should have been 5 goals clear in the second term but squandered 2 golden opportunities. That was the cue for Bulldogs star Jason Johannesson to prove the game-changer. Switched forward, Johannesson created havoc with his speed and energy, piloting the Dogs to a decisive 4-goal burst in as many minutes, including 2 to youngster Patrick Lipinski, to hit the front. The Suns, who led the inside 50 count 37-27 at halftime, responded with the next 3 goals to lead by 9 points early in the third term before the teams went almost goal for goal as the lead changed 10 times in total. Gamebreaker, McRae marvelous in Ballarat. The Dogs had the first 13 inside 50s of the last quarter for just 3 behinds, before Tim English goaled after receiving a dubious free kick to put his team a goal up. Soon after, teammate Jack McRae was blindsided by the Sun and Son Aaron Young, who won a holding the ball free and capitalized. Tom leveled the scores midway through the term. Dogs goals followed to Billy Gowers and defender Bailey Williams before Jack Martin gave the Suns a chance, only for the Bulldogs to keep the ball in their forward half in the dying stages. Watch Billy Gowers slots the sealer. McRae was brilliant for the Dogs with 40 possessions and Hunter led from the front with 34, while Luke Dahlhaus and Toby McLean were also prolific with 31 apiece, while the Suns were well served by the likes of dominant ruckman Jared Witz, midfielders Duke Miller and Jack Martin, and livewire Ben Ainsworth. In the absence of May, Rory Thompson stepped up, while at the other end Day and debutant Crossley did their best to replace the irreplaceable Lynch. Watch Braden Crossley brought more than a mustache to his debut. It was a gutsy effort by the Suns, given their outs and the fact they were playing at a 6th different venue this season as a result of the Commonwealth Games. Medical room Western Bulldogs, Marcus Bontempelli was a late withdrawal with hip soreness and could return next week. Gold Coast, Matt Rosa left the field early in the third quarter with a shoulder problem, which received strapping before he returned to play out the game. Next up, Bulldogs will aim for 3 in a row when they host Brisbane at Etihad Stadium next Saturday night, while the Suns will be hoping to upset Melbourne at the Gabba. Western Bulldogs 1.25.58.7 11.15 81, Gold Coast 2.65.98.10 10.12 72, Goals Western Bulldogs, Lipinski 2, Gowers 2, Dunkley, Johannesson, Jung, Honeychurch, McRae, English, Williams Gold Coast, Day 2 Young 2, Martin 2, Ballard, Crossley, Sexton, Miller Best Western Bulldogs, McRae, Johannesson, Hunter, Bellhouse, Nottingham Gold Coast, Miller, Ainsworth, Martin, Harbrow, Wits Injuries Western Bulldogs, Bontempelli, Hip, replaced in selected side by Honeychurch, Gold Coast, Nil Reports, Nil Umpires, Ryan, Fleer, John Fania Official Crow, 6,833 at Mars Stadium.